So it's just coming up to 7 AM on Saturday morning. We're heading to Brentford today, and it's already very busy at Central Station. There's a few issues with Storm Dara. I think our train might even be delayed by a few minutes already, so we're gonna have to keep an eye on that all day, and hopefully the Newcastle United fans and everyone else trying to get everywhere gets where they need to be in good time. Well, we are inside the GTEC Stadium. Quick media facilities inspection here. Yes, it is a little bit wet. Brentford have been very kind to let us into the stadium early so we can get everything ready for this 3 PM kickoff. But that's a press box. Looking a little bit wet, but I think we might survive. And here is the GTEC Stadium.
It's been a remarkable journey to get to this stadium already. It's only got approximately 5 wins in the competition. Ashley Julian was also one later around in the
very early on with the speech language therapist, I had said I'd love him to be able to go to the playground anywhere and ask other children to play with them. And she took him.
Well, Newcastle United have lost 4-2 here at Brentford on a very disappointing day all round really for Newcastle in many aspects. This was worrying, concerning. Was it inevitable? I'll leave that for others to debate. I think really Newcastle went into this game with no signings on the pitch from who started the game, no summer signings on the pitch, and a team that's kind of been moved around a lot. Eddie Howe described that as, you know, being tweaked in his press conference. But first half, Newcastle going a goal down, got themselves back into it, went 2-1 down, got themselves back into it again, and then threatened to, you know, go on and try and go ahead in the game. Second half, Newcastle simply, it was a non-event really. Very charitable defending. Eddie Howe afterwards saying the players struggled with the strong winds and the conditions. People will argue that it was the same for both teams, but I think what he was trying to say was Newcastle didn't make the most of it, of the strong winds behind them when they had them, and obviously, you know, at 2-2, you know, that was their chance gone with that sort of advantage. But I think, you know, the Isak goal, the Harvey Barnes goal, overall wasn't good enough for Newcastle. Those were the only two highlights of the game, the only two highlights of the day, and they've lost 4-2 here. They went over to the supporters. And it was very difficult for them at that point. And Newcastle now sitting in the bottom half. They've got to regroup. They've got Leicester next week, and then obviously they've got Brentford again in the Carabao Cup, and we now know it's not going to be very easy. So a tough day for Newcastle. The inquest will stretch into the week, but they've been beaten here today 4-2, and you know, the sad matter is Brentford could have won this one by a lot more. Well, in summing up, you have to look at today and, as I said before, draw a line through it almost. And if it wasn't important already, then I think the Leicester City game becomes absolutely huge for Newcastle now, and it becomes huge for Eddie Howe as he looks to get a response from his players after what has been a bit of a bad run now. No wins in 4, Newcastle in the bottom half of the table. Still got the cups, the table is still tight, but we said that last week as well, and Newcastle didn't do what they were hoping to do at Brentford, which was stand up to one of the teams around them and get that big result that they needed. So very difficult day for Newcastle. I think everyone needs to probably reflect on what's happened today. It's been a tough one, tough travel coming down, difficult for the team, a difficult moment, that's the way you would describe it, for Eddie Howe and his players. But they've certainly got plenty of time to bounce back. They've done that before. They need to do it again against Leicester next week at St James's Park.